drums. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Where are my glasses? I can't see. Shit. Oh, they're on my head. They were on my fucking head all along. How we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been playing with our new little toy here. Uh, where the hell am I? Sample Tank 4. And let's just make sure everything is running properly so I'm not wasting our time. Well, mainly mine, not yours yet. Try not to waste yours as much as possible. Let's get going here. This is Sample Tank 4, and today, instead of like reviewing sounds, which is just really grating on my soul, we're going to actually use it. We're going to use Sample Tank 4 today in an actual musical setting, and I'm going to point out some things to watch for, and we're going to try to keep a very positive flow going on here. So this is Sample Tank 4, and this is the main page right there. And what I highly recommend is that you don't try to resize this at all, because this is really a bitch to get readjusted once you resize it. Everything is perfectly fit in there right now, and I don't recommend fucking with it at all, because it'll just make your life hell, and you won't be able to see your whole screen like it is now, and I can't help you. Here we go. Let's make a song. So we're going to start with drums, and to do that, to get our drum tracks, we're going to go down here to this little symbol. Now, I don't know why in 2000, almost 20, the music industry has decided to go fucking like cryptic on us and start giving us all these cryptic, stupid signs. The problem with me is that when you use multiple pieces of software and you're going back and forth, all these cryptic things, when each manufacturer has their own cryptic code, they all just become a giant mush of bullshit in your head. And like, what is that? I don't know. What is that? I don't know. It's just like someone's idea. That's not the international symbol for fucking editing or whatever it does. I think it's an effects racks. Oh, there's nothing loaded. So anyways, let's get started with our drums. This is the drum phraser. Let's unlatch these because I don't like latching. Latching basically just makes it keep going and going. We're not going to do that. So what we want to do first is, well, actually we're going to load some drums. You can see we can get to our loading section, our instruments, right above here. If we go over here, we can bring this down and see all of our tracks. And so by clicking that little side portion right there, you can easily go through all your little tracky tracks. So let's go back up to 1, and we're going to load a drum set. So we'll go through our drum sets here and try to find something cool. Make sure you find a drum kit as opposed to like something like just a bunch of ride cymbals or something like that. So we'll just go down. Anything look good, guys? Something you want to mess around with? Blaster kit, bit rock kit, big vintage. Let's just go with big vintage. There's our big. See all this 2.5 stuff? Let's find something a little more Dirty South kit, East Coast kit. I had a nice one, Acoustic Pop Kit. Let's load that bad boy. So we're going to load up Acoustic Pop Drum Kit. Now, the drum kit, once it loads as it is going to spread all those drum pieces across your keyboard, as it should. And so that's the first thing you're going to notice. And so let's just become familiar with that. So there's your drum kit. There's C3, C2, C1, and down. So let's go back over here. And you can see at the top we have C2, but be careful, that's C minus 2, so that's 2 octaves down from C1. So if I were to pull a loop in here, you wouldn't be able to hit it by hitting C1. You're just going to hear that. So be careful. We're going to go down here to C0, and that's where we're going to put our first allocation. So we'll just go down. These are your categories, and I think I'm going to use a rock, and here's all your rock library. So let's just listen to one. And I think we'll slow that down. So basically, you'll notice Sample Tank 4 is slaving its tempo to your DAW. So by slowing it down, if you want to slow it down, you're going to want to do it in your DAW, not in Sample Tank 4. Sample Tank 4 is just going to follow along. See how that switched over? So let's go back and we'll listen to some other rock oriented things. Now while this is playing, it's worth pointing out, let's see if we can get there, macro view, that you have a mixer here. Now this mixer is controlling the levels, the mics on your drum set. So if you wanted to bring down the kick, maybe this would bring down the snare a little bit, bring back the kick. Kind of balance your drum set out. And then you have your room mics, which are overheads. Alright, we'll just do the balance like that really quick and start looking for some sort of interesting rock groove to build on here. There's a fill. About using loops like this is you can't change anything. It's completely uneditable. The loop is the loop, and unfortunately I don't see a way to actually extract MIDI from it, which would be really nice to be able to do, to see it in MIDI rather than just a bar that you pull out. So let's find, I don't like the fact that a lot of these have a crash cymbal already attached to it. All right, there's something. So we're just going to drag this and set it on C0. I'm going to take the second and put it on C0 also. If you look at the left there, right there, you'll see that C#0 highlights when it is above. So now if I take this fill and put it where the C#0 is, it will replace it and just put C#0 there. You can just click it out right there, put it back in, or you could just drop it right back up here. If you do move one, it just copies it, just leaves it so you can decide for quick editing, and then close that out. So now we have both these. We'll pick a fill. Let's pick another fill, and let's see if we can do an intro. Another thing with these loops is often you have to kind of make sense of what they're trying to, where the drummer's trying to go with the song, and that is my problem sometimes. Hearing the intro, you just kind of, sometimes it's not where you would like to take it, and so it doesn't really make sense to your ears at first where exactly the drummer's trying to go with the performance. So to use these, you can just close this out temporarily, and we'll bring up you just go to view and bring up your piano roll, and we'll just move down here so you can see C0, and if we press it, nothing will happen because I need to look at where I put these really quick because I totally forgot. Alright, C0, so I want to see my keyboard real quick. There we go. Back to the piano roll. And we can close this out. Isn't that weird that C2? Maybe I did put it on C2. I thought I put it on C0. Anyways, let's not mess around. Let's just put it on C0. We're going to close this a little bit so we can see. And we'll just lay that first performance right there. And we're going to put it right there. And we'll just go ahead and pull it out about that far. And let's give it a listen. Let's pull it out a little further. And what you want to do is see how far that phrase exactly goes before that crash hits, because that is the end of the phrase. Now, the bummer that you're going to see is with working with these loops is the loop does not recognize all the spaces in between. So when you are editing like this, you have to go back to the beginning every time. So you can see it ends right there. What's that, 8-bar loop? So you can go ahead and imagine if you wanted to put an intro here, you very well could. And I think I put the intro right there. Now, on all these loops, you're going to want to keep the first one just shy of the following, the consecutive loop. Otherwise, it's not going to trigger. You got to leave a little room there for it to trigger. So let's just back this up and see exactly what we got. Dun, 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 dun. So we got a nice little first 8 bars there we can work with. So let's go ahead and insert one more MIDI track and take a look at adding some bass to this little 8-bar groove here. And to do so, we're going to need to let our MIDI track know where sample tank 4 is. And you're also going to need to go to your controller, your keyboard controller, and go ahead and at this point move it to MIDI channel 2 if you would. And we'll go ahead and label that track bass. And at this point we can go ahead and bring up sample tank 4 again and move back into the just hit that again to move back into the instrument area, and channel 2, we can go ahead and go down, start looking for basses, which is right up here. So I found, now mind you, I'm not a big fan of any of these basses, simply because I use Moto Bass by IK, and that is just pretty much my go-to, unless I have to use an upright or something, in which that would probably be Spectrasonics. So there are some interesting basses here, though, that have some character to it, meaning little noises and squeals and things like that. Let's go ahead and load this bass. A little deep Independence bass. Try that. No, that's not going to work. I just want a basic kind of Fender jazz bass type of thing. I think this might work. Just a nice warm. I don't think that's going to work. Nice warm, fat sound. Okay, let's try that one. There we go. That's what I like. All right. So we've picked P bass finger. We're going to close this out once again, and we're going to attempt to record a very simple bass line. It's going to start at 2. Let's go ahead and check this out. I think I'm just gonna, because the latency's really bad, I'm kind of tripping on it right now. We're just gonna go ahead and, how do I want to do this? First I need to see, you got to start from the very beginning every time. So there's a little 8-bar little ditty, 4-bar little ditty. Let's go ahead and clean this little bad boy up. And we'll just bring all these to the nearest note. If you're not familiar with the numbers or the nearest notes, or you just rather use quantize, go ahead and do that at this point. I just prefer to go through myself and hit all the relevant numbers real quick till I have a nice little tight bass line. There is nothing worse you can do in your life than begin a project with a sloppy fucking bass line. You will just fucking fuck your world up. Don't do it. I can't stress that enough, because your kick drum and your bass are the very fucking foundation, the very structure of everything you're gonna do. And if the fucking structure is off and crooked and screwed up, then every track you lay on top of that will have no, it's just going to be fucked up. Excuse me. My light's going dead. Turn it off. Anyways, let's check out this bass line. Remember, we're going to, well, we can start right here. This is fine. Now we can just extend this again. We could add a fill right there, and I think that's what we'll do. So let's go back into the piano roll. Now remember, to add a fill, we're going to have to back this up and put the fill in, because the fill is still part of this drum progression. So the fill is going to go like right here at 5 and end at 6. So we're going to need to back this off a little bit. And I also need to look and find out where exactly I put the fills, which I don't remember. So to do that, we're gonna have to go here, and I have a fill down at E0. So let's just shut this out, and my fill is back to 0. So there's a fill, not my favorite fill, but we're going to go and use it. And then it's at actually E flat 0. So we'll just stick that right there. And the duration is way too long. So we'll just double click it there and bring the duration down to like 100. And drag it out to 6, which is I think where it would end. Boom. Okay. I'm wondering if you can start in the middle, things like that. Let's be adventurous and see how flexible this is. Maybe I don't want all that. So let's just see what happens if I take this route here. We could do that. It's, of course, it's not going to take the ending snare part. It's just going to take the beginning and cut off the ending. So it is what it is. Not my favorite fill, but we can always go in easily, and we're already there. Notice we're not on bass. We're here, so we can just go in, find another fill. Chorus fill. Let's do that one. Let's put that at B1. Much more appropriate. So B1, let's see. So we're just going to take this and pull it down here. And we're going to drag this back on out to 6. Kind of separate those. And let's see what we have real quick. Perfect. So at this point, what I would do is continue this line again very easily, if I can just keep track of my own shmoo right here. And you can just click that line right into place and let it go another 8, in which you could add another fill. And I don't know if that fills in the right place, but we're going to find out. It looks a little short. So I think it's actually going to go there. Let me pull this back from there. Looking good. Looking good. So there we go. Let's check it out. Oh, notice it missed it. See where that's at? Every fucking time. So you really got to watch and get used to how these loops interact with each other. I'm going to go back to my bass and we'll go ahead and so you're going to have to start from back here, or you could start from the nearest loop. So I'm just going to start right there in this case. And we'll stop it real quick. I'm going to go back real quick. And at this point, once again, if you want to use your quantizer, use your quantizer. And my shmoo isn't set up right just yet. 16th. Yeah, once I have mine set up, I'll bet you I'll beat your quantizer. And mine will be more accurate. Maybe. I think I just fucked that one up, actually. So you can hear some character in the bass. You can hear some character in the bass, but you're not gonna, you know, get those pull-ups and all the articulations at all. Wanted to finish that phrase real quick. Uh-oh. And we'll go back to Smart Tool. And go ahead and line these up real quick. Was that at 480? Alrighty, you need to be a bit longer. You're going to sound a little bit weird. There you are, mate. Here we go. Alright, Sheila. Now we got a proper fucking bass line right here. let's start it from the beginning. Actually, I want to change some of these notes to make it just more interesting. Octave it. Hold that note out a little bit here. Alright, that's nice. Let's move on, mate. I don't know how long I'm going to keep up the Australian accent, but it sounds fun for now. And we're going to go to track 3. So what you want to do is turn your MIDI controller to 3 at this point. Do you see where I'm going with this, mate? I'm going to add tracks until I'm bloody well done. That's not Australian here. So I got track 3 going. And I'm going to add a tasty ass organ right there. So we're going to bring up sample tank. I'm going to go back down here, back to our main page, click, and we're going to find the godforsaken organs, which I love. A lot of nice organ patches here. How did you know? How did you know I was going to want to use you? Oh, life is good. Oh, that's some 2.5 XL library has been optimized for buttons. Well, I like it. Anyways, let's do this. I don't care what library it's from. So we're going to go back. Now, you may have noticed that when I was laying those bass tracks, you weren't hearing the current track while I was recording the new track, and that's because it's a new project and never went up to preferences. I wish it would remember these preferences every fucking time, so I wouldn't have to do it every fucking time. But anyways, you're going to want to go to MIDI, playback and recordings, devices, project MIDI, record, project MIDI record, project record, and you're going to want to hit sound on sound, apply, and then okay, and that will make your life a lot easier so you can hear what you recorded when you're recording the new shit. Very important stuff. Not quite as important as making sure your bass line is lined up with your kicks, but pretty much up there. Here we go. I gotta figure out what key this is in D. Here we go. Let's see what's we're going here. I think I'll just do a D to so let's go ahead and line this up here. See that off fucked up start here? Try it again. Performance there. See how it sounds real quick. And I'm getting latency there, so we're going to go ahead and line up the beginning notes. so it doesn't sound like weird. Want to be on time. Always want to be on time. You want to be on time to your job. You want to be on time to where you put in these notes. You know, timely notes is just timely notes and musicality are so connected, and you will begin to notice that the more on time and on beat your notes are, the better your music will just magically fucking sound. It's just amazing. The more you get used to just being super anal about where you're putting your fucking notes, all of a sudden things will just be clear and just wonderful. Wonderful. Gonna bring that bass down a little bit. Notice we're in the mixer section here. Nice. I can live with that for a while. Let's go ahead and go down here and add another MIDI track, and let's be really courageous and go for a guitar. Why not? Here we go. Because we already have a keyboard in there. Oops. We already have a keyboard in there. So let's bring back up our interface and visit this section one more time. If you see this, remember you got to go down here and go ahead and put your MIDI keyboard at this point to channel 4, and we'll go into the electric guitars and let's just be crazy. I mean, fuck it. I want something from the new library. It's very disappointing to go through here and just see a bunch of Sample Tank 2.5, Sample Tank 2.5. Just one after another. It's really a bummer. There's a key switch. What do you know? Well, what do you know? I need to get down here. Thank you. I should have held that G. It was sounding really nice. Let's try it one more time. Off there. Done. And we can save this and feel proud that we started a cool little country ditty. Let's hear what we've made. Still choking. Let's take this off record. Go down to the mixer, up to the mixer in this case, and we're going to bring that guitar down. Start the first verse right there typically. I think I will save this. I rather like the groove. Or maybe not. It was a big concern of mine that I'm not going to be able to play back tracks really smooth. Like this. With all this running here. So what I'm going to do, I don't know why with Sample Tank 4 I can't do this, because I've clearly in earlier videos had many more VSTs running than this and played back just fine using Sample Tank 3. So I don't know, maybe Sample Tank 4 uses more resources. But yeah, that's the deal. So, I mean, I could freeze all these tracks. I don't know if this is going to really help. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So, oh, that's a bummer. Well, it is what it is there. But I think the overall takeaway from this is that these sounds are legit. It just sounds good. I wish, yeah, the CPU load seems extremely, extremely high. What I'm going to do is, while I have you here, I'm going to go ahead and open another project, and let's see, existing prod. Back it up. I'm having fun. Sometimes I forget about the shit I do. So I'm running like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different plugins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different plugins. Little mama, shake my down, run back south, never found. Come back home. Hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. This is Wirecat.